Have you noticed that Pokemon cards have been rising in value lately? You're not wrong. Let's talk about it. One of the reasons Pokemon cards have been rising in value is cultural influence. With influencers like Logan Paul and musicians like Steve Aoki showing that they're into Pokemon, it's brought more into the public eye. Pokemon gets a lot more exposure, and the nuances of the game are brought to light. There are some people that like Pokemon, there are some that don't like Pokemon, there are some people who have no idea what Pokemon is, and there are some people who know what Pokemon is but don't understand the hype. All four of these types of people will see these influencers and celebrities display their Pokemon hobbies and learn a little bit more in doing so. For example, if you already like Pokemon but you're worried about the public image of it and how you would be perceived for liking Pokemon, then seeing a high-profile individual like Steve Aoki promoting his interest in Pokemon could definitely help you decide to be more open about liking Pokemon yourself. If you're not a fan of Pokemon, then seeing Logan Paul spend $150,000 on one card might change your mind. Finally, seeing everybody on the internet opening packs may persuade you to go out and buy a couple packs yourself. And then if you rip them and you pull something, you might get hooked. Another reason is supply and demand. With everybody now talking about Pokemon, everybody else is gonna want a piece of the cake. But where is it gonna come from? Pokemon has a limited amount that they print at any given time, and sometimes they do reprints, but in other cases they don't. In the case of 151, whatever was printed so far has been it. There's no confirmed reprint. So everybody who bought 151 in bulk is now reselling that 151, and the value just keeps going up and up and up. The same goes for Evolving Skies. Booster boxes originally retailed at around 120, maybe lower. This is because their set released in 2021 and did not get many waves of reprints. So anything that's out there is all there is. The next reason is market speculation. The way people look at Pokemon has definitely changed in recent years. Similarly to stocks and crypto, people are predicting that Pokemon cards will go up in value, and so they're buying purely for investment value now so that later they can resell them at a much higher price. People are starting to see that Pokemon cards actually have value, especially sealed, because the potential to pull something valuable is higher rather than just buying the cards straight out. Remember, nothing has value unless people think it has value. So Pokemon cards are currently seen as an investment and will continue to be an investment as long as people think it is. This leads me to my last reason, which is buyouts. Because Pokemon is now seen as more of an investment than just a hobby, this idea has kind of trickled into the minds of people who think a little bigger. By bigger, I mean people buying multiple cases of one product or an entire pallet at Costco, maybe an entire shipment of product, or large investment firms purchasing a chunk of a grading service, such as how Blackstone bought out Collector's Universe. And if large investment firms are making moves this big in the Pokemon space, then that just shows the average person exactly how much value one Pokemon card can have. To sum it up, the value of Pokemon cards has been steadily rising because the demand has been rising. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments.